now shifting our focus to the other big story that we're tracking this evening. Shah Rukh Khan is returning to the big screen after a long break with his much-awaited film Pathaan, which is going to release in 2023. The film's new song, Besharam Rang, seems to have created controversies even before the film has released. After Madhya Pradesh Home Minister Narottam Mishra slammed the movie song, a complaint has also now been filed with the IMB Ministry by Supreme Court advocate Vineet Jindal against actor Shah Rukh Khan as well as Deepika Padukone. Massive protests also erupted in Varanasi demanding a complete ban on the movie. Earlier, you also had VHP echoing the same sentiments, calling the movie song shameless as they went on to allege that this shows Saffron in a bad light. But this isn't the first time we're seeing a Bollywood song or a movie being targeted in a similar fashion. Many now asking what happens to the creative liberty of artists, and if not, then where does this really end?
गाने में प्रयुक्त की गई वेशभूषा प्रथम दृष्टया बेहद आपत्तिजनक है। साफ दिख रहा है कि दूषित मानसिकता के कारण ये फिल्माया गया गाना है और इसलिए मैं ये निवेदन करूंगा कि इसके दृश्यों को ठीक करें, वेशभूषा को ठीक करें।
शर्म आनी चाहिए भगवा को बेशर्म बताकर के उनके साथ बेहूदी हरकतें करना, लफ्ज़ियात को बढ़ावा देना और हिंदू द्रोह की ये पराकाष्ठा है।
Is this controversy being raised at this time to raise the popularity of the movie?
But as I said, this is not the first time that a Bollywood film is being targeted, either the film at large or a particular scene or song. Let me give you some examples in the past where we've seen these movies in the eye of the storm. Let's begin with the most latest one, Lal Singh Chadda, where Amir Khan was accused of insulting the Indian army. Let's go back. Adi Purush, the objections was to the portrayals of Ram, Hanuman, Ravana and even Lakshman. Let me give you some more examples. Lakshmi, that was charged of depicting the transgender community in a bad or a poor light. Then Brahmastra, there was a row over Ranbir's character wearing shoes inside a temple. If you go back, Padmavat, right-wing groups claim that Rani Padmini was shown in a bad and a poor light. Goliyon ki Ras Leela, Ram Leela, there the charge was of hurting religious sentiments of Hindus. The Dirty Picture, there was a case filed against the film and the filmmaker for obscenity. And that is why many now asking that where does this really end? And as the row over Pathaan is only exploding, we're now getting a first reaction from Shah Rukh Khan as well. He has reacted to it saying social media is often driven by a certain narrowness of view that limits human nature to its baser self. Let's listen in.
Contrary to the belief that the spread of social media will affect cinema negatively, I believe cinema has an even more important role to play now. Social media is often driven by a certain narrowness of view that limits human nature to its baser self. I read somewhere that negativity increases social media consumption and thereby increases its commercial value as well. Such pursuits enclose the collective narrative, making it divisive and destructive. Cinema exposes the vulnerability of human nature by telling stories in their simplest form.
और ये बात बताने में मुझे बिल्कुल भी आपत्ति नहीं है कि दुनिया कुछ भी कर ले, मैं और आप लोग और जितने भी पॉजिटिव लोग हैं सब के सब जिंदा हैं.
So there's saffron trouble for the film Pathaan. The question that we're asking is, who's really intolerant? Let me also now bring in our guest to take this conversation forward. We have the spokesperson of the VHP, Shiraj Nair. We also have Ad Guru, Dilip Cherian. Shortly will be joined by Manvi Taneja, an actress as well. Shiraj ji, मैं आपसे conversation पहले शुरुआत करना चाहती हूँ. What is the objection as far as the VHP is concerned with this song?
Well, first of all, let me very humbly clarify that VHP was formed nearly 60 years back, and that too in the city of Mumbai, where I come from, and we have never ever interfered in the creative arena of the films or advertisements or any other creative format. Now, in this case, this is absolutely like soft porn, which we can see, which is definitely soft porn, definitely sells. That's definitely one aspect. But the way saffron attire is, the saffron bikini is worn, and Besharam rung, it has definitely hurt the Hindus in totality. And the kind of background Deepika Padukone has got supporting the Tukde gang, that's really unfortunate. And sometimes some filmmakers, they believe that by creating some kind of controversies, their film can be a hit, but that's a matter of past.
Shriraj ji, I have two concerns with what you are saying. पहली चीज तो पूरे दिन हमने VHP के काफी रिएक्शंस देखे हैं, बाकी रिएक्शंस भी देखे, उन्होंने कहा हमें इस भगवा कलर से इशू है. तो मेरा एक सिंपल सवाल ये है, अब तो हर फिल्म में, हर एड में किसी न किसी ने भगवा कलर या सैफरन कलर के कपड़े पहने होंगे, तो क्या हम हर फिल्म को बॉयकॉट करने के लिए प्रोटेस्ट करेंगे? दूसरी चीज, आपने कहा कि दीपिका पादुकोण की एक हिस्ट्री है, एक आर्टिस्ट की भी एक फ्रीडम होती है, उनकी अपनी चॉइस होती है कौन सी मूवी करना चाहेंगे, नहीं करना चाहेंगे, और एक मूवी के क्या स्टैंडर्ड्स होने चाहिए, उसके लिए हमारे पास एक बोर्ड ऑलरेडी है. तो अगर ये बोर्ड एक फिल्म को क्लियर करता है, तो हम सबको इसमें घुसना चाहिए या नहीं घुसना चाहिए, या बोर्ड को अपना काम करने देना चाहिए?
तो मैडम, केवल ये हिंदू मान्यताओं के साथ क्यों? एक फिल्म आई थी, ईरानियन फिल्म मेकर ने बनाई थी, जिसका टाइटल था मेरे ख्याल से मोहम्मद. उसको भारत में रिलीज नहीं होने दी. सैटेनिक वर्सेस को भारत में बैन कर दिया गया. ऐसे कई चीजें हैं, तो वहां पर तो कोई बोलता नहीं है. See, this selectively Hindu dharma cannot be targeted. Now, gone are the days. Hindus are not going to sit silent.
बट मूवी वाले तो बोल ही नहीं रहे ना कि वो किसी धर्म को अटैक कर रहे हैं. ये तो VHP के इंटरप्रिटेशन है कि कोई रिलीजन टारगेट हो रहा है. जो फिल्म मेकर है, जो एक्टर्स हैं, वो तो इस कंट्रोवर्सी में इन्वॉल्व ही नहीं हो रहे हैं. वो तो बल्कि आज ये सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं कि बॉलीवुड इजी टारगेट क्यों बन गया है.
बिल्कुल इजी टारगेट नहीं बना है बॉलीवुड. ये बॉलीवुड ने ये मांग के लिया है मैडम. यहाँ पर एक तबका है जो जानबूझकर हिंदू धर्म को एक गलत लाइट में दिखाने का प्रयास करता है और करता आ रहा है. आज बॉयकॉट जिस प्रकार से हो रहे हैं, फिल्में पिट रही हैं, ये जाग रहे हैं, पूजा पाठ कर रहे हैं, कोई वैष्णवी देवी जा रहा है, कोई टोपी पहन के पूजा कर रहा है, ये हमने उनको उस लायक बना के रखा. सो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट द Hindus have awakened now. You cannot fool, or you cannot make fun, or you cannot enough of ridiculing Hindu dharma. By the way, so we are not blaming the entire film industry.
So if I understand this correctly, and I want to bring in another guest also. So if I understand this correctly, just because we see the actress Deepika Padukone wearing a saffron outfit, Hindu sentiments are being hurt. Is that the interpretation of the VHP? सर, मैं आपसे सवाल पूछ रही हूँ, श्रीराज जी.
Definitely, that is definitely one of the reasons that people are upset. And even the Honorable Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Shri Narottam Mishra, even said that he will not allow the film to run in Madhya Pradesh. So there is, and something is happening, and we have.
Unfortunately, sir, this becomes very convenient because, as I said, there is a panel, there is a board. You have issues, you take it to the board will decide what certificate needs to be given, whether a movie needs to be allowed to be released or not. Dilip Cherian, I want to bring you in. The VHP is saying, and that's why I clarified before I came to you, just because Deepika Padukone can be seen wearing a saffron outfit, we think sentiments of the Hindus are being hurt. So tomorrow there will be an ad where you see somebody wearing a saffron outfit. There will be another movie where somebody will be wearing a saffron outfit. Will we call for a boycott of all of this? Has this cancel culture, boycott culture just become a convenient tool to target Bollywood today?
So this is absolutely soft porn.
The convenience of targeting Bollywood or convenience of targeting any religion is something that has got increased in the last 8 to 10 years. That's one. The second thing is that I'm completely convinced that both Shah Rukh Khan and Deepika Padukone must have been alerted about the possibility that this is going to happen, and there's going to be issues to do with the level of exposure, which is referred to as soft porn, and the colors. So my question is, if it is an attack on a particular industry, that is something that needs to be really dealt with at a different level. As someone who has sat on the censor board for two separate occasions on two separate boards, let me say that the censor board takes into account two things. One, is it something that is extremely, lascivious and likely to corrupt public morals? And the other thing is that, is it likely to cause tension among communities? This is something that the board takes very seriously.
Okay.
I think as far as colors are concerned, it's not really about ownership by any one group or signaling any one religion. But if there is anything which raises communal tension, the board would normally blow a whistle. Somebody somewhere.
So, Dilip, that's what I said. I would have still wrapped my head around what has happened or tried to understand the point of the VHP if there was, the wrong portrayal of a god and goddess, if an, idol had been misrepresented, so on and so forth. But if it comes down to colors, then many feel this is just the opening of a Pandora's box and we don't know when this will and where this will end. And Manvi, this is where I want to bring you in the conversation. Today we've seen a reaction also from Shah Rukh Khan, who's of course speaking about the different type of people who are using social media today. What I essentially want to understand from you is that this is not the first time we're seeing a Bollywood movie being targeted or a song being targeted or a scene being targeted. Do you think a controversy like this actually adds as far as the popularity of the film is concerned?
See, I would like to start like this, that the moment there is an upcoming project from Bollywood, the trollers, the haters and the trollers, they get active and they try to promote the boycott culture. And I also wonder that why people have a selective vision on this. They only see what they want to see from their own specs. If you talk about this particular film and the publicity, I would like to say that Deepika is not only wearing a bikini, she is also wearing a different outfit in multiple colors like yellow, green, golden, blue, mauve, white. I think all the colors were incorporated in that. But specific community will only see saffron color, as in because their vision access is only pertaining to the saffron color. And now if you talk about the other actresses like Kangana, she was wearing a saffron suit and she was holding a bottle of alcohol on the roadside and she was dancing, and these people, they don't have objection in that because they have a selective approach. They hire people to get these trolls done. They hire people who can retweet this. But I think we should leave something on the censor board also. If they feel it objectionable, they will definitely edit it, or they might pass it, or whatever they do. It is the final call of a censor board.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, that there is a certain panel or board which has been put in place to take a call on this as far as the certification also is concerned and as far as the content also is concerned. But Shira ji, मैं आपसे वापस पूछना चाहती हूँ, अब बहुत सारे लोग ये सवाल भी खड़ा कर रहे हैं कि जैसे हमने बहुत सारी कंट्रोवर्सीज देखी हैं, चाहे पद्मावत हो, रामलीला हो, लाल सिंह चड्ढा हो, चाहे अब पठान हो, एक फिल्म मेकर, एक प्रोड्यूसर, जो एक्टर्स होते हैं सारे, most of them are adults, they have given their consent to the content that is being put out. उनकी फ्रीडम और लिबर्टी का क्या होता है? अगर हर दूसरे दिन कोई ग्रुप खड़ा हो जाएगा, बोलेगा मुझे इससे आपत्ति है, मुझे इससे आपत्ति है, तो कोई फिल्म मेकर तो फिल्म ही नहीं बना पाएगा.
Ridhima ji, have you ever seen VHP objecting to any other film in the past? We have never. That's why I said when VHP came in existence in Mumbai, it was formed here in 1964, and in Mumbai, Mumbai is the place where film industry exists. Our Bajrang Dal cadre or VHP team has never visited any set or created any kind of ruckus. We have never interfered in any creative freedom. But look at the hypocrisy here. The title of the film is Pathan, and where these Pathans come from predominantly Afghanistan. Women are flanked, they are beaten up, they are living in the most inhuman condition. And here a woman is shown in bikini, and that too saffron. So this kind of hypocrisy and this particular actress who has been a part of the Tukre, who has been openly supporting the Tukre gang. So there the sentiments definitely are going to be heard and people are going to object about it.
Dilip.
Why? And somewhere we have seen some filmmakers have been intentionally trying to hurt the feelings of the Hindus, and it has been happening over the period of time. But now only the situation has changed. Hindus have awakened and they are retaliating and they are boycotting. and the films are not working. It's as simple as it is.
We'll let the audience decide whether a film is working or not, and the box office numbers will show, and it'll be for all of us to see. But Dilip, I want to bring you in back in the conversation, and what I want to understand is this cancel culture, this protest and boycott culture seems to be a very new phenomenon. If you go back to films that we saw released in Bollywood way back in the 70s and 80s, many would say they were far bolder with their content and the projection as well. We didn't see these controversies then. You had actresses wearing similar clothes way back in the 70s and 80s as well. Is it social media? Is it the kind of availability of our content and the reach that it is seeing today is the reason that we are seeing controversies like these?
I think the reason is really that you have a vocal set of people who know that they can get much more airtime than they used to. You can get people to make Bollywood cow down, and you can be quite sure that the level of panic that it creates is out of proportion to the level of anxiety or problems that is being talked about.
Okay. Unfortunately, as I said, there is a pattern that is emerging. Are these protests valid, or is there just a cancel culture that we're seeing because it's become convenient? That debate is still out in the open. I will have to leave that conversation there. I'd like to thank all our guests for joining us here on CNN News 18. Time for us to